How's it going, guys? It's the king of the fourth quarter here, and we are finally into the playoffs with our Minnesota Timberwolves MyGM mode. And man, it feels good. It only took us one season, man. Going into the series, I wasn't sure how long it was going to be before we got into the playoffs, let alone win a championship. But man, into 1 year into the thing, we're already here in the playoffs as a 3 seed. That means a lot because y'all know this Western Conference is always stacked. It's like really stacked. Sometimes great teams don't even make it, but we got it here. Number 3 seed going against the New Orleans Pelicans. If you didn't see the last episode, we decided to tank the last game of the season. Oh, it hurts to even say it, but we had to. Because if we would have won that last game, we would have jumped up to the number 2 seed and went against that Houston Rockets team that is extremely deadly. Y'all know James Harden is a hard man to guard. They still got Dwight. It just, I don't want to see them in this playoff. So hopefully we can win this first round and they'll lose because I do not want to see them. So we decided to lose that game to go against this Pelicans team, and I'm hoping it wasn't a mistake. So going into this game, I'm kind of nervous because this Pelican team has experience in the playoffs. This is their 3rd straight year making it into the playoffs. They haven't done anything big. They haven't reached the Western Conference Finals or anything, but they still have guys that have been in this situation before. And if you take a look at our team, we only have one guy. Yeah, I said one guy that's ever been to a playoff series, and that's Jimmy Butler. And you'll see in this game, Jimmy Butler was silent, man. They were clamping him up. He did not do much, so we had to rely on these young guys that haven't been in this situation, and it was tough, man. And you already know what of our priorities are. We got to stop the man with the ball right there, Anthony Davis. And it's going to be a team effort because we don't have a lead defensive star on this team as a big man. Not even, well, I guess Jimmy Butler counts as a great defender. But as a big man, we don't have those pieces. So it's going to be a team effort. I tried to start off. When I started this game off, I didn't do anything. You see right here, look at this mismatch. I called for the double team, but it wasn't even enough. Crazy. But coming into this game, I never played against Anthony Davis before. So I didn't know what to expect. I know he's the man. I know stopping him is going to be almost impossible, so we just tried to tone him down by throwing at him. I think we had Gorgie Dang on him in the beginning of the game, and that didn't really work out. In that first quarter, he ended up with like 16 out of their 30. You see right there the score, 30-25. And so the second half and the second quarter, we just tried to throw out different matchups. We're trying to find that guy that can steady him because we know that guy cannot be guarded completely. We're not going to stop him. He's not going to score under 20. So we need that guy that can make him force up those shots and miss those shots. So that's what we were trying to figure out in this very first game. And I'm kind of scared, honestly, because if you did watch the last episode, you know at the end of it, going into the playoffs, we are actually the underdog. Yeah, the number 3 seed is the underdog to this number 6 seed. I'm guessing for the exact reason that I said. I mean, they have experience and we don't. So, I don't know what to expect, man. I just want to win games. This first game is the most important game of any series. Usually the guy who wins game 1 goes on to win the series. That's not all the time, but majority of the time that happens. You see Karl Anthony Towns working down there. You know, he wants to win this just as much as everybody else. But man, if we can come out here and get this win, and maybe, you know, that'll basically, we already have home court advantage, but we can get a win here, it'll mean a lot. And that's what we're going to come out here and try to do. You see time went down in the second half. We're going to throw that oop up to Ben McLemore, who's been a big part of this team since we traded for him. And at halftime, it is 56-52. So we are down. So we decided to try to make some changes. In the second half, we throw out, I think we put out Eric Woods, and we go into a 2-3 zone. Yes, I said a 2-3 zone and try to prevent Anthony Davis from getting down low. But you know, when you're running the zone, one thing it's hard to do is get a body, and they got a nice big man in Alexis Ajenga who does crash those boards. So the 2-3 zone doesn't work all the time, but for the second half, I decided to give it a go. And actually, it worked out pretty well when it came to Anthony Davis. But no, when I see Karl Anthony Towns throwing down that tip dunk, I had never thrown down a tip dunk in 2K16 until that moment. I don't even know what I did. I think I held RT and X or LT and X. I'm not sure, but we got it to go there. So we're up by 5 after that point. Eric Woods throw down that dunk on fast break. And it's something that people always say. Oh, first of all, this last half of the third quarter is all about Myers Leonard. The guy is a monster coming off our bench. Just look at these next couple highlights. It is a Myers Leonard basically mixtape. The guy just does everything off this pick and pop, or sometimes he rolls. He is unstoppable. He is unguardable. You see he's dunking on Alexis Ajenga. The guy is really aggressive, and throughout the season he basically was okay with coming off the bench. Not too many people are like that, and you know he has a torch as a big man. It's crazy. A lot of our guys coming off the bench were complaining about their minutes. Myers Leonard was not one of them. He was okay with coming off the bench, and that's what I really like, because we need spark plugs like that. That's like 4 or 5 clips in a row of Myers Leonard making shots. He has 18.7 of 8 for shooting, and that really held us in this game in this third quarter. So hopefully you guys like the longer episodes, because it's kind of hard to, when it comes to the playoffs, you guys want to see a lot, hopefully. So I kind of tried to make this video as long as possible, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. And it's going into the fourth quarter. We are up by 5. So we turned it around just a little bit. Going into halftime, we were down by 4 or 5, and we turned that around completely, and now we're up. But that doesn't mean anything. I know I'm the king of the fourth quarter, but man, we're playing a Hall of Fame simulation. We're going against one of the best guys in the game. It's the cover star, man. This guy's on the cover of the game. So we got to keep up our thing. We got to keep going. And one thing that a lot of people say is when it comes to the playoffs, the tempo slows down a little bit. You know, we're a high energy, high tempo team. So going into this game, I was nervous about that. This Pelicans team actually slows it down quite a bit, and I kind of neglected our strategy. You see right there, we thought we had a steal, but Anthony Davis said, "Nuh-uh, let me finish at the rim." So we're going back to back, man. It's like a Drake song. We're just going back to back with scores. When I get a stop and try to score, they get a stop. So we're just going right back. You see Drew Holiday throwing that no-look pass to Alexis Jenga. He threw like 4 or 5 of those no-look passes for assists. And yeah, that's what he does, I guess. You see, we tried to create something with Wiggins, and that didn't really work out. Turned the ball over, and that's big, man. Down about 6 with 4 minutes left. But we fight back. You see, they're gonna get this pass out to Tobias Harris. I forgot about that. Yeah, they have Tobias Harris on their team now. That was a big pickup for them. This team is not bad. I think that Anthony Davis actually was injured for part of the season. You know, without Anthony Davis, his team is pretty much average. So they probably lost a big amount of games without him. So that's probably why they're just sitting at the 6th seed, because this team has potential to be a top 3 team in the West. So you see, time is winding down in this fourth quarter. A little less than a minute and a half to go. Wiggins going to hit that big shot, tie it up with a minute left. So it's a 0-0 game. And I kind of looked at this differently. You'll see right here what I do. I'm just like a normal person, man. I get nervous. You see, we down by 2. I take the shot early with Wiggins, and it pays off. Big bucket right there. Gives us a 1-point lead with about 40 seconds left. But they got a monster in their team, and he comes right back down and scores. So earlier in this series, you probably saw there's been times where I kind of blew the game while trying to hold the ball to get the last second shot, and that's not what I want to do here. So you see right here, we're going to try to get a really quick shot. Gorgie Dang going up. That was probably not the best one. So we got to foul them. Omer Ashik is going to make both of those free throws. So we're down by 2 with 20 seconds left. And I'm trying to get a good shot, because there's been times in the series, you guys have seen it, man, where I don't get a good shot in these situations. You see right here, backdoor cut by Zach LaVine, and he makes the layup, and that is big. About 10 seconds left in this game, so we need to stop. We need to stop right here, and you see what we do. They're going to pass it around. We're trying to keep it out of Anthony Davis's hand. They're going to take that shot, and it rolls off the rim. We're going to call timeout. With 2 seconds left, so maybe we can get a shot up. You'll see. We tried to give it to the one guy that has not scored at all, really. And it gets blocked. So we're going into overtime. First game of the playoffs. We're doing it in style, man. We're trying to take this game in overtime. 4 minutes. So here we go. Tip-off goes to us. So right here, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We got to run our plays, run our sets. This right here is a big one. Zach LaVine is going to give it up. Who's going to give it one more off the screen to Wiggins. The man turned up in the fourth quarter in this overtime, and you'll see that right here. We just need to play some defense and keep us going. So they're going to come down. We need to stop this guy, but it's nearly impossible. You guys have probably played against Anthony Davis. Hall of Fame simulation, the guy does not miss. He ended with over 40 points. That's a powerful. He did not take a 3. That was all normal field goals here. Another screen for Wiggins, and that's in, giving us a 3-point lead with 2 minutes left, so we can't take our foot off their necks. And you see right here, we got to stop throwing it around. We're going to give it to Zach LaVine. He's going to take that shot. We were setting some nice screens, and right there, Karl Anthony Towns getting the inside position on Anthony Davis and finishing at the hoop. Up by 5 with a minute and a half to go, so we just need to keep our defense going. You see right here, that's a bad shot by Anthony Davis. Kept him out of the blue area, and that was our goal for this overtime. We're going to throw it up to Wiggins. We are now playing our style of basketball, run and gun, and that's a big one. Up by 5 again. Wiggins, he's on the island out there. His couple moves and he's gonna finish at the hoop. A minute to go, up by 7. So now we gotta play some defense, clamp up just a little bit. If we can get to stop this possession, I think this game is all but won, and that's exactly what we. Of course, offensive board, Anthony Davis. So it's not completely over. So we just need to get a quick, not even a quick bucket. We just need a bucket. And there it is right there. Karl Anthony Towns was big this game. Ended with, I think this is the first time I've ever played with him where he ended with over 20 plus points. And that's big. So we're going to go out here in our very first playoff game and get a W. Myers Leonard, man, that guy came off the bench and dropped a dub for us. And that was probably the deciding factor. He didn't play much in that overtime in the fourth quarter, but that third quarter he turned up, and that was what we needed. You see the stats right here. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave it a like, man. It's the playoffs, so we're going to try to bring these episodes more rapidly. It's the king of the fourth quarter. Thank you so much for watching, guys.